former world champion Adrien Broner. Can he come back, and will he come back? Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7 Power Boxing with an analysis of the former four-division world champion and once upon a time Floyd Mayweather prospect. First off, I always have a tendency to look at the positive side of life as well as people. You could say that I see the glass as half full as opposed to being half empty. Now that's to say that this video is not a hit piece, another Bash Broner commentary. However, we've all witnessed, now that's those of us who are fight fans, the rise and recent fall of the man once nicknamed The Problem and was considered Floyd's little brother from a boxing perspective. Now this from his suicide threats, public assaults, jail time, and most notably his recent public intoxications, highlighted by last week's public meltdown on the It Is What It Is podcast, co-hosted by the successful Harlem, New York rapper Cam'ron. Broner was brought on the show to discuss Terrence Crawford's recent upset win over Canelo Alvarez, and talk more boxing, and talk some football. But he became more and more fixated as the show went on, fixated on the beauty of Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby. Now Wilson is the moderator and content writer and one of the co-hosts for the show. And after repeated warnings to focus on the subject matter, sports, instead of stat, Cam'ron had no choice but to halt the interview and escort Broner off the show. But in what I thought was a classy move, he still paid Adrien his appearance money. All of which reminded me, at least, of Oscar De La Hoya's drunken appearance on that Triller Fight Club event back in 2021. Now that's the fight card which it featured YouTube boxer Jake Paul versus former UFC fighter Ben Askren. Oscar was put on the mic, slurred his words, rambled, and clearly showed he had no business being behind the mic. Now in both cases, these guys were highly scrutinized and picked apart by the boxing media, De La Hoya then and Broner now, and rightfully so, because both cases it showed that neither man had any business being let out of the house, let alone put behind a microphone. When you're on that level, being a high-profile ex-world champion, someone's supposed to be there for you to watch your back and save you from public embarrassment, such as a personal assistant, or at least one bodyguard, if not two or three. But to his credit, De La Hoya has since rebounded to the point that 4 years since, he's handling his business quite well as a successful promoter. And he hasn't had a repeat public flare-up, and hopefully he won't. Another case in point of whether a man can come back from the depths of addiction, consider Tyson Fury, who was at his worst with drug and alcohol addiction between 2015 and 2017. He was diagnosed as being bipolar and having severe depression. Yet, after some counseling, as a matter of fact, one of his arch rivals, Deontay Wilder, which he reported, one of the guys would give him encouragement from time to time, and his newfound faith, his often professed faith in Christ, well, those things caused him to overcome his obstacles, as well as a 150-pound weight gain to become the undisputed world heavyweight champion and make an estimated over $200 million in ring earnings. So this clearly shows that no man is totally beyond redemption or repair. And if these guys made it back, Broner certainly can too. Now the bigger question, or other part of my premise, is will he come back? The odds are certainly against him, and most fighters in this position, they don't come back. However, no one can truly measure another man's will, whether it's one's will to survive, one's will to win, or will to live. But at this stage, he's going to have someone close to him demand and implore that he gets treatment. Hopefully someone, an old veteran with some sage advice, and probably to help walk him through a long rehab to get back on track, since he has only a few good years left in an already short-lived sport. And this is not just for boxing, folks. He'll need mental clarity and restoration for whatever he does for the rest of his life. So, that's my take on this one, folks. Adrien Broner can, and hopefully will, bounce back and get the help he needs. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click that like, notification button, share and subscribe to NS Champ 7 Power Boxing. And as always, I'll be